Packet Tracer Ospf. Got it going right here. It's going to be over on the other screen. So let's see. Start from the beginning, I guess. I don't need the introduction. Alright. Don't need to know what we're going to do yet. So I'm just going straight to the chart. And I'm going to put IP addresses in. And so I'm going to start with building 1. Can we get into building 1? No, we can't. So we have to console cable. Here we go. Console. Boop, ba-doop, ba-doo. Terminal emulator for console. Settings already in there. And there we are. Wait, am I on the right one? Building 1. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to name it too. Oops. Enable. Configure terminal. And we say host. Building, if I could spell it. Can't do a space. Just building 1. Who knows? They might make us change that, but it helps me out. Okay, so interface S00, 192, 168, configuration details. Anything in this network, 120. We got a /20, so we have 21, 255, 255, 255, 252. What's wrong with it? Oh, I didn't put an IP ad. What's wrong with it now? Oh, could be that I put 20 and 21. Alright, there we go, finally. Interface G00, first host address, IP add 192.168.8.1, 255.255.0, interface G01, IP add, first host address, 9.1. There we go. So we got the IP addresses on that one. And so now I'm going to span the WAN with my console cable. Something that could never happen and go into main. Alright, so we're in main now. Open our terminal back up. Main's named. That's neat. Alright, interface S00. Let's see if it actually... Maybe this has a show run. It does not. So, there we go. Configure terminal. Interface S00. 192, 168, 100, 20. And we know on our last serial we did 21. So this is going to be 22. The only other address in that network, 252. Once again, I must be rusty on my commands. The video, it's the pressure of the video. I apologize. It's been a while since I've done this one. Maybe I should turn them on too. I don't think I turned them on. Uh-oh, that's what I forgot to do on the last ones. Alright, interface S001, and we say, and it's any in the 192, 168, 136, so we're gonna go 137, 255, yeah, and it's not going well that way. I forgot my IP ad again. Alright, so we're just gonna go like this. 37. And then we have interface, no, shut. And then we have interface S010. And so, what do we have there with the /29? The first address in this network is already in use on the ISP router. If you wonder where I'm reading this, it's on the configuration details. Right here it tells you that stuff. So I'm just went straight to that chart. Doing that, and we'll do the rest later. Any other address can be assigned this network address. Okay, So we just can't use the first one. Yeah! Alright. And it's not a /30. So it's a 248, I believe is 229. Let's see. And then we go 209 0. That's not working. 209 203. 203. I can't read. 203.0.13.17.18. Alright, so we just use the next one. Yeah! No shit. Okay. So, now what I'm going to do before I forget that I didn't do this, I'm going to take the console, put it back in here, and not put it into the serial, and put it into the console. Alright, I can see these I didn't turn those on, so I want to get those up and running. Alright. So, easy peasy right here. No shit. And if this was... That's not how this works. If we went back into our console, we would not see this when our terminal session was down in the real world. But, hey, Packet Tracer is a magical place. And maybe we want to do something else, like WR that one. And maybe we want a WR or copy run start. I'll do copy run start up here instead of WR. But I know you guys all knew that command, right? So we go, let's add Control Z, copy run start. There we go. We're good to go. Let's move on to our next router. Oh, hello, Building 2. Poor old Building 2. Did they name you? We will soon find out. Nope, they did. Oh, maybe that's how I should name Building 1. I guess I'll find out in a second. Anyways, we'll go on to interface S001. Oh, gotta enable. I gotta configure my terminal. And then I gotta go into my interface S0/1. IP add 192.168. 100, we already used 37, so I'm using 38, 255, 255, 255.252. Bang! No shit. Alright, so now we go into interface G00. We say no shit to turn that on. And even though you don't see that on there, we see we have... Wait. Never mind. Where's G00? There is no G00. We're just using G01. So we're going to shut that back down. Interface G01. No shut. And then we can go to our sub interfaces. Interface G1.2. IP add 192.168. What? Why did I do that? It's actually 10.10.2. And it says the first address with a /24. So we do that. .1. Oh no! What we need before that? I forgot. Encapsulation. .1Q. And I'm just going to guess that this is part of VLAN LAN 2 we could read. But as it's on the 2.sub interface, remember that sub interface, that .2 doesn't matter, but hopefully Cisco is having us do labs in a best practice where the VLAN's also assigned to it. Just makes it easier to troubleshoot. So we do that, then we can put this IP address on. So we'll go to interface, well, I'll just scroll up, interface G0, what do we got? 4. Alright, then we'll do an .1Q encapsulation 4. One of these we'll actually have to make our trunking VLAN, so we'll come back to it. But as for right now, we're just going to go IP address, 10.10.4, using the first one. There we go. So next we go to 1.8. And these are all turned on because the actual physical interface is turned on. And we have 8, that IP address, and if I press enter there, it's going to give me an error because I need to encapsulate it first. So we'll do it again. There we go. That's 8. Oh, we got ourselves some sub interfaces here. What was that one? 15. Is it 10.10.15? It is. At least they're staying to a scheme. I bet you we have some summarizing to do here in the future. Okay. Alright. So we have that switch, or that router to there. Now we have to go, looks like we have a layer 3 switch maybe? We got some SVIs coming in. Oh no, that's just on the different, it's on the different switches. I don't know, I guess we go there right now too. Okay. Console. Into this switch. Oops. Terminal emulator. And we will name this one as well before we forget. FLA. Is that FLA? Nope, that's FLB. Okay, so FLB, and FLB has an SVI on Peers interface VLAN 25. How did I get that? Well, if we look at the IP addresses in our beautiful chart here, our SVIs are in this. I assigned this to VLAN 25. They are all in that network, and so they must be must be interface VLAN 25 that we're going to be managing from. Must be our management VLAN. Alright, so we say IP address 10.10.25. The highest address in the network, 254.255.255. Wow. Why? What are you doing to me here? Alright. No shut, just in case. New iOS, it already turns that on. We have that going. IP default gateway while we're here, because now we know where we're going to go. If we set our SVI for something, that should be the default gateway. So our default gateway is VLAN 25, so 10.10.25.1. Alright. And that one's done in the chart. Now we go to FLA. Oh, and they named that one for us. Oh no! What do I do here? Control Shift 6. There we go. Enable. Configure terminal. And we say interface. I'm going to do it out of IP default gateway 10.10.25.1. Alright. Interface VLAN 25. That took me long enough. IP address 10.10. Uh-oh. Actually, I did this wrong. It says that A should be the highest, and we were in B. I went the wrong range. Easy fix, easy fix. Don't freak out yet. Okay, conf T, interface, VLAN 25, second highest IP address. So we made it 254, but it actually should be 253. Alright, exit, WR. Alright, so now this one is 254 because it's supposed to be the highest in this network. And we have that, and that's all we know from that chart. Save it up. Move on. Uh-oh. We have all kinds of issues between our... We have a lot of interfaces off. I don't like it. What's going on here? We'll figure it out, I guess, when we get there. The third highest in the network. 10.10.25.252 255.255.255.0 IP address in front of that. Check. Exit. Default IP default gateway 10.10.25.1. Save that up. Alright. So, now our PCs. Lab A1 should be any address in the 8. Any address in the 8? Have we used the 8? We've already, so it's not typically any address. So we go 192.168.2.255. Our default gateway is 192.168.1. I'm in lab A1. Is that right? Yep. A1 should be there. Doesn't give us an IP version 6 address. So this one is going to be in 192.168.9.2. We have a 9. Yep. We were using 9.1. Okay. And 192.168.9.1 is assigned to the router interface that we need to go to, so hopefully you can grasp that that's the default gateway. Alright, netadmin 1 10.10.15.2, and that's actually a /24, so we need to change the subnet mask on this one. And once again, I believe the 15 is the first address. If we look, it's on that router on a stick interface. So there it goes. Netadmin 1. Where's netadmin 2? Netadmin 2 is in that 15 as well. So it's going to be 10.10.15.3. Change the subnet mask. There we go. Okay, so I have my chart done. And I'm going to go to my next chart, actually. I'm going to get all of this done before I go up to my actual instructions. So, if you guys, let's see. Let me drag this. Alright, there we go. I'm going to assign VLAN ports now. So that is on my awesome switches right here. So it's FLA and FLC. So I'm just going to do all of FLA first. Configuration is locked. I know that. That's why I put this terminal in. Alright, so CompT interface FLA F05. Maybe I should. Nah, we'll make the VLAN first. Alright. VLAN 2 name dep1. VLAN 4 name dep2. VLAN 8 name dep3. VLAN 15 name netadmin. VLAN 25 name, manage, VLAN 99, name, safe. Nope, that says Sage. Safe. Okay, so now if we do show VLAN, now we see we have these named VLANs, but all of our ports are in VLAN 1 still. So next thing we do, interface F05, and since these are my access switches, see they all attach, A and C attached to computers. What I'm going to do is, one on C, I'm going to turn on all the ports because it looks like they're off. But on A, I'm going to make them access ports. Besides, these are trunks, so they shouldn't be. Let's see what they are. Alright, if it doesn't want to show me that way, I'll do it the hard way. We should be getting some activity through do show CDP neighbors. And so 0, 3, and 0, 4 are my trunk ports. Notice they're going to the switch of FLB. We're on FLA. So I can look at my chart and they're not there. So all these will be access switch ports, as these are trunk ports. Our access ports go to end devices, right? So interface F05, switch port, access, VLAN 2, switch port, mode, access. I'm just assuming they're going to ask us to do that. Interface F010, switch port, access, VLAN 4, switch port, mode, access. Okay, so interface F015, switch port, mode access, switch port, access, VLAN 15 is 8. Okay, so now we can go to interface F025. Huh? Am I reading something wrong? Oh. 24 port switch. Doesn't like that. Doesn't like that. Okay. So we are, what do we need here? F024 is an interface. Is an interface. VLAN 25 switch port mode access. Okay. So now we have the, wait, that shouldn't have been in 2.5. 2.4, doggone. Should be in 15. There we go. Notice our SVI went down and SVI went up when we put it in 25. SVI needs an active port in it, so as soon as we start trunking on our switches, it'll give us an active port in that VLAN and they will work. Okay, so not going to worry about that. Now we do all unused ports, so let's do show we can do show interface. No, do show interface. It says nope. How about we do show IP interface brief. That'll just show us, so anything that's up we don't want to do. So I need to mark this down somewhere. Just a second. I need to go, where's my pen at? I don't have a pen. I gotta have a computer. Alright, so we're just gonna go note, sticky notes. That's what I need. Okay, so I'm gonna write this down. What I'm using. Anything that's up, I know I'm using. F. So 03 is being used. That's a switch port. 04 is being used. That's a switch port. 0, 10, 0, 5, 0, 10, 0, 15, and 0, 24 should be, so we hit spacebar, 0, 24. So everything else needs to be put into VLAN 99. So interface range F01, 22, switch port, mode, access, just for fun. That way it won't form a trunk if somebody plugs in. Switch port, access, VLAN 99. So then we go back to our range, and so we went, then we have 3, 4, 5, so 6 to 9. Same commands. Then we go back to our range, and we say 11 to 14. Same commands. And then we go from back to our range command and go from 16 to 23, and same commands. Alright, so that's one down, or that's at least this chart, this next part of the chart. Delete my used ports. Oops. Sorry guys. Just in the forum there. You guys are wondering where I'm at. Why can't I see my packet tracer? Oh, I guess here it is. Anyhow. So now I will do interface C. We'll create all those VLANs because we're not running. Well, let's see if we are. Do show VLANs. VLAN. So we don't have them. If we were running BTP, then we would. VLAN trunking protocol, which is, I'm not sure if it's covered yet. So, it's kind of, I think they made it more of a Ccna 5 thing. Oops, and we're going to keep VLANs. VLAN 2. So we go into interface F07 and we do a, oops, we don't have it yet, switch port access, VLAN 2, switch port, oops, don't have that either, switch port mode access. Then we go into interface F010 and we say switch port access VLAN 4 and switch port mode access. Then we go into interface Let's see, on FLC it's 15, same I guess as the other. And then we say switch port access VLAN 8. Is that what we're on? VLAN 8. Support mode access. Go into interface 25. Sorry about that. So we're on interface 25. Why did I do F025 again? F024. Okay, which is switch port access VLAN 25. Switch port access switch port mode access. Alright, so now we have that. So now we just have to figure out once again our unused ports. So actually we want to turn all these ports on. Let's find out where they're off. So run. Yeah, they're all down. So we're gonna go config interface range F01 to 24 and shut. And now we start having problems, but that is fine. At least they're on. Show IP interface brief. And use, we have 01, 02, 05, 06, 07, 010, let's see, 015, and 024. So 024, there we go. Okay, so we can start off with our interface range command at where interface range 03 to, and if you guys notice, we have native VLAN mismatch, and because we don't have, we could have went into our console and we could put logging synchronous, and then it wouldn't interrupt our command, but I'm not going to do that because where's the fun in that? 3 to 4, switch port access VLAN 99, switch port access, switch port mode access. Okay, so then we go back to our range command, and so we have 5 and 6, so we'll do 7 to 9, same deal there. And yeah, so we're there. Wait, let's see, got a little distracted, sorry. So then we go back to our range command 11 to 14, same nope, crap, wait, I don't know what that do. 11 to 4, 11 to 14, there we go. Let's go back to our range command, and we will go 16 to 23. Alright. And now we save. So, there's one long one. Now I'm going to do our next port channel. Actually, I'm not going to do the port channel one yet because it actually doesn't tell us. We'll have to get that in the instructions. So create VLANs, configure ether channel, configure trunking. Well, we need to know where we're supposed to be trunking. Then we'll go over the top. Okay, so let's go down to our instructions. Right here if you want to know. Okay, so in our instructions, we're going to go back to building 1 and name it correctly. Which I kind of assumed we were going to need to do that. So, enable, configure, conft and host, BLDG-1. There we go. Prevent the router from attempting to resolve command line entries to the IP. So that is IP domain, no IP domain lookup. So that it says DNS. So what that means, if we put in host right here. Okay, so now before we put in that command, it would try to translate, right? So now it is not trying to translate for us because we said no IP domain name lookup. All right, protect the device configuration with an encrypted secret password. Well, hopefully you guys can figure that out. So we're going to say, does it tell us what secret password? No, it does not. It's so we're going to say enable secret, password 01. There we go. Then we're going to go line BTY 0 through, this is I can't remember. We're on a router, so typically 0 through 4. If I wanted to see those line BTYs again, remember I could do show run all the way down the bottom, and it's showing us 0 through 4 currently. But so we're going to do the same thing. Line BTY 0 through 4, and we're going to say console and remote access. So password telnet 1, even though hopefully they have a set up SSH, and then line con 0, password console 1, and log in to that one, exit. I didn't do login on the BTY because I can see it's right there. So we're good there. Prevent system status messaging from interrupting the console. Okay, so that would have helped us on that switch. So this is where we go into the console. So it's line con 0, logging, synchronous. So that's where when we have a mismatch, it will just go to the next one. Prevent the system status. Okay, configure a message of the day banner. So banner MOTD. Do not hack. Okay. And then configure encrypted passwords or clear text passwords to be encrypted. Service password encryption. Exit. Building 1 should be done. Alright. Configure the router interfaces. Put all the IP addresses, descriptions for the three interfaces of main. So main must be up here. Alright, so we're going to pull this, put it up here. Console. And so then we hop back into our terminal and we say do. Got some apples. So what are we doing here? Descriptions. So I'm gonna use this to help me on the descriptions. I'm gonna do show CDP neighbors. Okay, so I'm going to say interface S01 description interface to internet, and see I can see what devices they are. So then I'm going to say serial 0/01 description interface to building 2, and finally interface 00 interface to building 1. Exit. Right. Okay, so, configure the DCE settings where required. use a rate of 128,000. Okay, so we want 128K. Show run. Serial. Well, we could do a show controllers and figure out if it's DTE or DCE. But the other way to figure it out is if we go into our serial and they have clock rate. Well, that means they have a clock rate. And let's just make sure we're right. Show controllers serial 000, and it says DTE. Okay, and that just says on. And that doesn't say necessarily on main. So the ones that are DTE, so we have serial 00, what was it, serial 00 and serial 01. So those are the ones not to the internet. That's kind of weird. No, one's to the internet and one's to building 1. So we'll do a clock rate on building 1, and it is serial 001 that we have to set a clock rate on here. Comp T interface serial 001. Gonna check it one last time to make sure. Yep. And we're gonna say clock rate, right, which is, remember, bandwidth doesn't actually set a speed. Clock rate does. So I'm going to exit that. What else do we have here? The sub interfaces of building 2 will be configured later in this assessment. Well, they're already configured, so we're okay. Alright, so we save that. Then I'm going to go. Okay, it was building 2, right? I guess I should write this stuff down. If that one's to building 2, so building 1. Go back to our building 1 router, and we're going to set the clock rate on our serial there, which is serial 00 appears. So how can we find this in another way? Not command prompt, terminal. Okay, we say show CDP neighbor, and as we can see, it is serial 00. So we say serial 00. Clock rate 128000. Alright, exit. Alright, so that's so far so good, right? Configure inter VLAN routing on building 2. Okay, so we're gonna go to building 2. We kinda already configured that. So we'll see what else they want us to do besides what we've already done. Okay, so all I'm going to do is do a show run. Do not route the VLAN 99. We're probably going to use that as, I'm assuming, as our trunking VLAN. Configure on main. Wait, what? Configure building 2 to route between VLANs using the information on the table switch port. VLANs will be configured on switches later in this assessment. Do not route VLAN 99. Well, what did VLAN 99 say for us up here? Oh, it's just... Alright. Oh yeah. VLAN 99 not going to be routed because it would be a black hole VLAN. Alright, so that's what that's going to do. So we are on step configure default on main. So we'll go back to main because we already did all of that. And then probably more. We're back on main. Terminal. Okay. So on main says configure a default route to the internet, use exit interface argument. Comp T, do show run. It'll show us which one we have to the internet. And to the internet is serial 001 or 0100. So we say IP route 0.0.0 0.0.0 and then serial 0/1/0. It says this better be a point to point, and as we can see, it's a point to point. Okay, so that's a good deal. Now we're going to configure Ospf, so I'll just start on main. Configure multi-area Ospf version 2 to route between all internal networks. Use a process ID of 1. Okay. So we start out with router Ospf 1. That's our process ID right there. Okay. Now this doesn't have to be the same on all, but they're telling us to. Use the area numbers as shown in the topology. So our main is area 0. So we will do show IP route connected. This will only show us This will only show us our directly connected routes, because this is the only thing we care about, which is probably all we have in there anyways, besides I guess our default route on this one. So we say network 192.168.120, and this is classless, so we have to put that wildcard mask, and the wildcard mask for 252 is at 0.0.3. Then we say area 0. Next we're going to do 192.168.36, and that should be good. I'm not doing Ospf to the internet because I don't think they matter. Now let's see what else it says. Use the correct wildcard mask. You are not required to route the management VLAN network on building 2. The managed VLAN is VLAN 25. Okay, we won't route 25. Prevent routing updates from being sent to the LANs. Alright. We don't have any LANs on our backbone area, so we're okay there, and we can move on to building 1. Back into building 1. And we probably could just be telnetting, but hey, where's the fun in that? And so we say conft router Ospf 1. And so this is going to be an area border router, so this interface is going to be an area 0, while these ones are not. So what we say is do show IP route connected. And so our serial is in area 0, so we're going to say network 192.168.120 0.0.0.3 area 0. While our other interfaces, and as you can see, we've just formed an adjacency. Woo! So now we're going to say network 192.168 9.0 0.0.0.255 area 1 from the chart. Okay, and then we're going to say the other one is so 8 and 9 are in area 1. And then we're going to do passive interfaces so that hello packets aren't going to be sent to our switches, because we only need routing information between routers. So passive interface, if we look here, G00 and G01. Alright, so that one should be good so far. Go to building 2, where we're not going to do the management VLAN or VLAN 25. So we go in here, conft router Ospf 1, do show IP route connected. So remember, our serial is going to be in area 0. network 192.168.100.36. The /30 is a 00.3, area 0, and then the rest besides 25 will be in area, where is the area name? Area 2. So that's what we'll do. As you can see, an adjacency was formed. That's a good thing. A neighbor relationship. Loading to full. So if we do a show IP route OSPF, we should get some OSPF routes. As you can see, we're getting 8 and 9. So things are really happening for us. Network 10.10.2.0 0.0.0.255, area 2, put it in there. Alright, so then we will just switch to 4 on that one, still in area 2, 8, and 15. Remember, it said not to do 25, so that should be our areas. I'm just going to save that real quick. Actually, we need to go back in there though. Router, nope, not EIGRP, OSPF1, passive interface, interface, gigabit 0/ if we look up here. We can do our point interfaces. I think if we just do G0/1 it would work, but we'll do all the point interfaces. So, well, we'll do them all. So we have 2, 4, 8, 15, and 25, and then I'm just going to do G01. Just to knock them all out of there. Better safe than sorry. Alright, so I think that's going to prevent all routing updates being sent from the LAN. So the next thing we do is we go back to main, because it says on the main router, configure multi-area OSPF version 2 to distribute default route to other routers. And so here we go. How do we do that? Exit, and we say router. Oh, why did I exit? I was in the right place. Router OSPF. Default information originate, and that is going to share its default route with everyone else. Customize OSPF version 2. Customize by performing the set bandwidth of all serial interfaces, 228K. Alright, so we're going to say interface, let's do show IP route. Nope, we don't want all those, so we're going to say route connected. Just want to see my serials, so I have interface S00, and I'm going to say bandwidth, and 128,000, right? That's what it says. Yep. Big bandwidth in kilobits. Big bandwidth. I think it's 128,000 still. Now we're going 128 on it. We'll see. We'll see when we check this what happens. Okay. So that's been checked. So we go to our next interface, which is S01. Put bandwidth 128. And then we're going to go. So remember, this bandwidth command is only used for EIGRP or OSPF to calculate metrics. Now we're going to configure router IDs. So we need to go to router OSPF 1, and we're in main, so we say router ID 2.2.2. And for this to take effect, it tells us we need to run the command clear IP OSPF process. This reruns the algorithm. And so now that will have the right one. We probably should have waited. Oops, this one's still translating. We probably should have waited until we did all of them. So we'll go to building 1, hop in there. And we'll say router OSPF 1, router ID, building 1 is 1.1.1, exit, right run. Okay, building 2, T, router OSPF 1, router ID 3.3.3, and then we say exit clear IP OSPF process. Command's right here if you were wondering where I'm getting that, or you could have used your help command. Yes, we want to reset it, so now we get the right router IDs. Configure OSPF cost of the link between building 1 and main to be, so we're going back to building 1. They just like us to hop around. So the link between building 1 and main is our serial. So we're going to go back to copy, do show, IP route connected, and our serial is interface S001. We could also look at the chart. And we're going to say IP OSPF cost, and the cost is going to be 7,500. Exit, right run. Alright, so now, this one, let's see if I can remember how to do that. So next we're going to configure OSPF with MD5 authentication. So we're going to crash all of our routing protocols, so we can just start here, conf T, let's see, it is crypto key, it is authentication. No, it's not AAA. You would think I'd be able to remember it. Key string. Is it security? No, IP. There it is. IP authentication, I think. No, it still don't have authentication. IP. Alright. Let's see what we have here. Key value of 1. I don't know. Interface S000. We're in building 1. Yeah, we're in building 1. So S00. About IP OSPF. There it is. Authentication. Oh well, we're gonna do message digest. Key 1 MD5 using the password XYZ underscore OSPF. Enter IP OSPF authent. Can't give me completely authentication. And message. message digest for MD5. Alright, so that's that link. It took me long enough. Sorry about that. No. Then we go here. I guess I should have just telnetted. Anyways, here we go. So next, we want to do enable. We're just going to do show run. No, we're going to go P, show run. What I'm going to do is cut it off at the interfaces. Need one more on these interfaces. Notice I'm using the enter key just to get the right spot. Oh, doggone it. Neighbors went down because we have that authentication on. So I only want, I don't want the internet. I don't need to secure the internet. So interface S00. IP Ospf. What is it? Message digest key 1 MD5 XYZ underscore OSPF. Enter. IP Ospf authentication. Make me spell it, huh? Question mark, make sure I spelled it right. Message digest, exit. That one's good. So now, what was our other interface? S001. Notice we're getting adjacencies again because that must have been our right interface. So we're going to knock down the adjacencies on the other side. And we can just up tab through those, save that router, go into this one, and it'll be our serial interface. So do show IP route connected, and our serial is serial S0/0/1. And we say IP Ospf message digest key 1 MD5 XYZ underscore OSPF. Make sure it's capital, right? And then we say IP Ospf authentication message digest. Enter. That's it. So we should have an adjacency form pretty quick there. Notice it went down. So, and now loading to full. Remember, we want OSPF to come back up within 3 seconds. Alright, so next, configure ACLs. You will configure 2 access control lists in this step. You should use any and host keywords in the ACL. Thanks for telling me. Restrict access to the BT Y lines on main with an ACL. So we're going back to main. Okay, so on main, we would need to create an ACL. So create a named ACL using the name telnet block. So IP, whenever we make the named ACL, it starts with IP access list. A number just starts with access list. And so next I think we put standard, and then it's our name. And so our name is telnet block. Clever. Allow only test hosts to access the BTY lines of main. Okay, so test only, allow only test hosts. Test host? Who's test host? What? Oh, over here. Okay. Over on the internet. So we say permit host, meaning only 198 151.100.5. Okay, no other internet host. Your ACL should be one statement. We're good there. Okay, so we have it made. Now we need to apply it. So where does it go? Line bty 0 space 4 access class, not remember for the other one would be IP access group, but this is access class, and then the name telnet block incoming. Alright, there we go. So that one's done. Block ping request from the internet with an ACL. So we're still on main, so we say CompT. Use the access list number 101. 101 means an extended access list, also what's going to allow us to block ping. So we say access list 101. Permit. What do we want to permit? Allow only test host to ping addresses within the tech company network. Only echo messages should be permitted. So permit tells us our protocol. So we say ICMP question mark. We're going to go host for a single source because we only want 198.151.100.5 in. Okay. To ping the tech company network. So we're just going to say any, because these are 10s, those are 192s. Like, we could summarize these, but it's a big summary, so we might as well just do any, meaning anything inside, and we say, okay, let's make sure only echo messages should be permitted. Any, so echo. Alright, so that's that line. Prevent all other internet hosts, only internet hosts visit, from pinging addresses inside the tech. Block echo messages only. Alright, so we're going to do a similar one. Well, they're already blocked. Block echo messages only. Alright, so we're going to do this weird. This is kind of an oxymoron list. Okay, so then we're going to deny ICMP echo requests. Any echo. Oh, we have a host, so we're just going to say any echo. So that's everything from the internet. So only that test can ping, and then we're going to permit. And we're going to do access list 101. Permit. Oops. Let's permit IP. Any. Is there any other special? Your ACLs play the most effective. Alright. Well. So, how we do this right is this should be placed as close to the source as possible, and so this is actually where it affects the source is all of this network, and so we're going to put it on this internet ACL. And how we wrote it, if we look at the source is the test host. Remember the first thing we put host, that's the test host, and then the destination. So we wrote it incoming, right? Because the source, the test host would be the destination going out of this interface towards the internet, but coming in from the internet, test host is the source. And so we go back into our computer and we say do show run, see which one we have on the internet, or we look at our chart and we see it's S00 interface S0/1/0, and we say IP access group 101 for the ACL name and incoming. Alright, so now we're going to building 2. What are we doing on building 2? Another ACL. And I know how you guys love ACLs. Control access LAN to block to access the management ACL. So create a standard ACL. Permit or access list permit. No, access list 1 permit, so it knows what to do. Permit only addresses from the net admin VLAN, and the net admin VLAN is, let's go to the chart. Net admin is VLAN 15 with the network of 10.10.15.0.0.0.255. Okay, so that's our network. So we're permitting that. Let's go back to make sure we don't have any more. Your access list should be one statement. It is. Your ACL should be placed at the most efficient location to conserve network bandwidth, device processing. Okay, so remember, standard ACLs only filter on source. So where's the source for net admin going to be? Well, we're going to place it incoming on G01. Or actually, we'll go into the sub interface. So what are we trying to permit? Addresses from the net admin VLAN network to access any address. Oh, I wrote this wrong actually. Wait, no. Okay. Nope, we'll just put it on. So we put it on the manage VLAN interface. That's how we do it, because it wants us to be able to permit them from doing management. So the management VLAN is VLAN 25. So we say interface G01.25 IP access group 1. Oh, incoming. Would it be incoming? So we come in. Yes, so they would be the source. I believe it would be incoming. Outgoing, they'd still be the source. Yeah, I forgot. Actually, no, it'd be outgoing. Because they would come in on their own server interface and go out. So we actually need to go back in there and reverse it. Okay. So what step are we on now? So past Ospf, we authenticated, we did an access list, switching configuration and DHCP. The VLAN names must match the values in the table exactly, each which we configure with the VLANs as shown in the table. Well, the only VLAN that doesn't have those VLANs is this one. And where we need to create the VLANs, why we need to create them in B is to allow it to allow them to trunk across there. It has to know about these VLANs, and so you better configure those VLANs. So let's go up to our table, just a second, and we say VLAN 2 name dep 1. VLAN 4 name dep 2, VLAN 8 dep 3, VLAN 15 name net admin, VLAN, and the names don't have to match for it to go across, but it asks us to have them all matching, so to get full credit, they better match. Safe, exit. Okay, so now we have the VLANs on all switches. Okay, each switch should be configured with all VLANs shown in the table. Yep. Using the VLAN table, assign the switch ports. Alright, so we configured them with static access mode already. All switch ports you assign to VLANs should be activated. No, all of the unused ports in FLA should be configured in F99. This configure step is on. Oops, we already did 99. We were anyway, so we went beyond. Secure the unused switch ports on FLA by shutting them down. So we're going back to FLA to shut down. So people would have to call to get them reactivated. So here we go. Enable D do show IP interface brief. So once again, I'm gonna pop out my sticky pad, and we're using 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. Oh, that's I think we messed up. Yeah, we didn't have the other side up, so we actually put some of these in 99, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to go back 10, 15, and 24. Okay. So we're going to shut down. It's okay, because we have to go back and trunk those anyway, so. Interface range. So after 6, T06 to 9. Forgot to put my F in there. So what do we say then? We say shut or shut down. Then we go back to our range command. Our next range is from 11 to 14. We're going to shut them down. Alright, then we're going to go from 16 to 23, and we're going to shut them down, and then we should be good for that. So configure the SVIs. We already made the SVIs. Configure trunking and ether channel. Alright. Use LACP on all of them. Alright. So we have some stuff going on. I think we're gonna go, so the switch ports on FLB side of channel 3 should initiate. The switch ports on both sides of channel 1 and 2 should initiate negotiations for channel establishment. Alright. Let's go to our switch port channel. So FLA1, I believe it said channels. Let's see, so FLA1 interface F02 CompT interface range F01 to 2. Okay, FLA1 channel 1, and it says we need use LACP, configure both sides of channel 1 and channel 2 to negotiate. Okay, so we say channel. What did we say? Yeah, channel. That's right. That was channel group 1 question mark mode question mark. Alright, so if we didn't know what LACP was, remember it's the non-proprietary one, and we use active, so it will try to negotiate. Active. Alright, so that's FLA1 channel 1, and then we say interface F. Let's go back to our interface range. We have 3 and to 4, and this one is channel group 2, and they said they want it to be negotiated 2. Alright, so now we can go to FLAC and console in. Why is it so big? There we go. Oh, we have VLAN mismatch. Well, we might fix that in the future. So then we say on FLAC interface range F01 to 2. We say channel group 1 mode active. Remember, it said both sides. So that's channel group 1. We're good there. So now we're going to channel group 2 is FLAB, interfaces 3 and 4. Alright, so comp T, interface F, interface range F03 to 4, channel, come on, channel group 2, mode active. Alright, so we get that part done. Now what else is it asking us? So we got to do 3. So on channel 3, the B side will initiate. So so 3 side is F06 on B, F05 and 6. Comp T, interface range F05 to 6. Switch port, nope. Channel group. With the dash. 3 mode. This side's going to be active. It wants this side to negotiate, but on our C side, it will not. Okay. Interface. We'll just go up arrow to our interface range. We're doing 5 and 6, and we're going to say channel group 3 mode active and passive. So now we're passive, so it will only form if asked to. So we have that. What's it tell us to do next? Configure trunking. Configure port. All our interfaces is trunk. Configure static trunking on FLB. Are we really using VLAN 1? Alright. So we're going to say comp T interface PO1. Wait. So we're on C? Yeah, we're on C. I could just read the name. So C has, yeah, it is in 1. So it's, we say switch port mode trunk, and it doesn't like it. Okay, that's fine. What is it saying? port channel 1 with FLA. So FLA is the one causing us these problems because we put those ones in 99 that weren't active probably. Yep, that's exactly what we did. So we go into there, and on interface PO1, right? Yeah. Switch port mode trunk. We also want to say switch port native VLAN one to make our device happy. Now remember, using VLAN 1 is a bad idea and can cause VLAN tagging attack to happen very easily. Okay, so A, we have PO1 and complete interface PO2 with A, switch port mode trunk. There we go. So that started the trunk. So then A, C. So now we need to do our good friend B. So B is CompT interface PO2, switchport mode trunk, interface PO3, switchport mode trunk. And just to make sure we don't have any problems because of something weird, we're going to go into PO1, shut it down. Wait, we don't have PO1 on this one. We're going to go into PO2, shut it down, turn it back on. We're going to go into PO3, shut it down, turn it back on. Just to make sure we turn on one, so we know we need to just, I'm going to go back into PO1 because typically when you set these up, you set them up one side off. So we just want to make sure that they form their events, form their links correctly. So we did that. Okay, LSP, did port channel, configure static trunking. Oh, crud. Configure all port channel interfaces as trunks. Configure static trunking on switch port on FLB that is connected to building 2. Okay, so there we finally get it. We need to trunk to create our router on a stick. So CompT, I guess we're using VLAN 1 for a router on the stick. So we do show CDP neighbors. We want a router. Building 2 is our interface G00. So interface G01, switch port, mode, trunk. We can just do that because remember our default native VLAN is VLAN 1. Then we're going to jump into here. And we're going to go into enable, and we're going to say CompT interface G01.1 encapsulation .1Q 1 native. We're not going to set an IP address on that. It's just going to be used for trunking. And so that should work. Notice these two are blocked. That should be fine. Now I see what we're doing next. So we're gonna going to do rapid PVST plus on all of our switches. So we will jump back into our switches and we say comp T. Actually, let's make sure our trunks are up. So we do show interface trunk, and we have PO2, PO3, and G01. Looks good. Okay. Nope, why did I get out of there? So back in, and didn't mean to click that, so I don't think I did something there. Comp T, expanding tree, mode, rapid, PVST, there we go. Right run, and then it says, so we're in, which one are we in? We're in B, so it says FLB doesn't get anything good. Alright, we're not changing any spanning tree. But just make sure when we do this, we need to change all of our spanning tree modes to rapid, or we have problems. Comp T, spanning tree mode, rapid PVST. And so now we're in A, and so A should be configured as the root primary for VLAN 2 and 4 using default primary priority values. Alright, well, we're just going to do this. Spanning tree. You don't recognize spanning tree. Okay. Spanning tree VLAN 2 root primary. Okay. Spanning tree VLAN 4 root primary. Then it says VLAN 8 and 15, we should be secondary. So we say 8 secondary, 15 secondary. There's our spanning tree commands for that one and the other one. So now we go over to C, our last one, not in rapid. If we see these lights blinking too much, you have some weird stuff going on, you're testing it, your spanning tree might have formed a loop from doing this rapid. It's a new thing that happens every once in a while. Spanning tree mode, rapid PVST. And then it says C should be the primary root for 8 and 15, so we say spanning tree, VLAN 8, what is it, root? Yeah, root primary, VLAN 15, root primary, and then we're going to do 2 and 4, we are the secondary. And so that's how we do that. Okay, on FLC, configure port fast on the access ports that are connected to hosts. Alright, so let's see. Does it tell us in our charts where they're connected, or we got to figure this out on our own? We have to figure this out on our own. Okay, good. Just how I like it. So remember, port fast makes it skip spanning tree calculation. So, and just go straight into forwarding. So I can do it from config do show IP interface brief. So, 1 and 2 are our port channels, 5 and 6 are our port channels. So 7, I'm going to write this down. We have 7 is a port that is being used, 10 is being used, 15 and 24. Alright. Anything else? No. Okay, so we do interface F07, spanning tree, wait, on the access ports connected to ports. Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't. So we turned spanning tree on default and put it on all switch port access. Spanning tree port fast. That's it. And we say interface F010. Spanning tree port fast. Interface 15. Spanning tree port fast. Interface 24. Spanning tree port fast. Okay. Now the other says activate BPDU guard. So that means if one of these ports we just put port fast on receives a BPDU of any sort, it will shut down that port or go into error disable. So anyways, so if a switch connects into there, tries to send a trunk across, we'd have problems. So to do that, we do spanning tree port fast. No, that's not what we want. Spanning tree. No, that's not what we want to do. Let's see. Activate BPDU guard on the access ports. I know it's here. Or it should be here. Port fast. Default. Nope. That's what sets all ports into port fast. Am I missing something here? It should be spanning tree port fast BPDU guard default. Alright, so we'll try to go back into our interfaces and let's see what we have. Maybe we have to set it there. Interface F07 spanning tree BPDU guard. Okay, so typically we don't have to do it per interface, but on Packet Tracer I just put it on default, so anything that is import fast will actually do this. So, but apparently on this Packet Tracer we have to do it the hard way, the old-fashioned way. But yeah, otherwise you would do it in global mode. Anyways, there we go. So we have BPDU guard on FLC. Configure switch security. Oh man, we got a lot of stuff on this. Alright, configure port security on all active access ports that have hosts connected to FLA. Okay, so back to FLA. CompT. Alright. So do show IP interface brief. Okay, 1 and 2 ether channels, 3 and 4 ether channels. So on this one we actually have host of 5, I believe. Wait, 4 and 5 are... No, 3 and 4 are on. Well, let's check our ether channel. FLA, F03 and 4, and F01. So 5 is a host. 5 is a host. What else is a host? 10, 15, and 24. 5, 10, 15, 24. Alright. So what we're going to do on that is interface F05 switch port security. Okay, so what is it asking us to do? Let's see, I know we have to set them up on each host port, but what do we actually have to do? Almost done. Configure port security on all active access ports that have hosts connected on FLA. Each active access port should accept only 2 MAC addresses before security actions occur. The learned MAC addresses should be recorded in their running configuration. When a security violation occurs, switch ports should provide notification that the violation has occurred, but not place the interface in error disable state. Okay. So first we turn on port security. Then we say switch port security maximum 2. That means 2 MAC addresses. Then we say switch port security MAC address sticky. It's going to learn those and put them in the configuration. Then switch port violation, and we have restrict, protect, and so I believe it's restrict that they want. Yep, that is the one. Restrict stops but logs, which I think is not what they ask. The security violation occurs, the switch should provide a notification. Yep. Alright. Oh, they should be recorded. Alright. So we have that. Now we just have to do our other interfaces, which are, we did 5, so we do interface server 10. And instead of having to do all that over again, we're just going to do it like this. Command rejected. F010 is a dynamic port. Alright, switch port mode access. Apparently forgot to do that. Violation restrict. We want our maximum of 2. And we want our MAC address of sticky. Alright, so then we do interface F015, port security, sticky, maximum 2, violation of restrict, interface F024, Alright, if we wanted to see what was going on there, we could do a show switch port. What the heck? Show. Let's just show port security. And it shows us we haven't had any violations. Max secure there, so I think that's what they want there. Let's see what we have next. Ensure all news on F have been secured as follows. They should be assigned to VLAN 99, they should be in access mode, they should be shut down. We did that. Oh wait, I missed a step. On FLB, configure virtual terminal lines to accept SSH connections. Alright. No, FLB to only accept SSH. So, how are we doing this? Conf T, nope, enable conf T. We want use a domain name, so IP, domain name, we need that. IP, domain name, Ccna, ptsa.com. Use the host name FLB, we already have that. Use the modulus of, so then we say crypto. So we need those two things that generate our crypto key. Crypto key generate RSA, and it wants us to use 1024. Then we want to say IP SSH version 2. Then remember, on a switch we have line VTY 0 to 15, and so we say input transport input SSH. Okay, that way it'll only use SSH. And we want to say login local, so that when we make this username that it asks for, username net admin secret SSH secret 9. Alright, so that's our SSH on FLB. Ensure that all unmuted ports. So we already checked that on FLA. I think we're good to go. Configure building 2 as a DHCP server. Building 2, here we come. Don't worry folks, we're almost done. So building 2, enable CompT, create a DHCP pool for hosts on VLAN 2 using the pool name. So we say IP DHCP excluded addresses. Why I'm doing that is because on VLAN 2 we've already used some addresses. So let's see what VLAN 2 is. VLAN 2, we're gonna exclude 10.10.2.1.2. I can't remember if we did. I think we did. Wait, no. No. So we actually want to take out the .2, because this one was all DHCP CompT. Okay, so then we say IP DHCP pool. Let me get back down my instructions. IP DHCP pool, and I believe this is our name, and so VLAN 2 pool. Okay, and so what we put here is network. It's 10.10.2.0.255.255.255.0. Does it have any other thing? Configure DNS server address as, so we need default router 10.10.2.1. Then we need DNS server as 192.168.200.225. Okay, so that's that one. We'll exit, go back to our DHCP pool, and we'll say VLAN 4 pool, and we go to our network, and it is 4.0. and our default router is 4.1, and our DNS is the same. And we go back out and we do a pool named for 8, and we say network 8.0. Oops, that's not the default router. Default router has to be in the network, and DNS is in there. Okay. All pool names must match the provided values exactly. Exclude the first 5 addresses of each pool. Doggone it. Now they tell me. Okay. IP DHCP. Oops, I'm still in there. IP DHCP excluded address. So we say 10. We already said 10.2.1. So we say 10.1 to 10.10.2.5, and then we say, no, change that one. We say 4. Oops. No. That just excluded everything in between there, so would have broke our oops, and that was just a no. Really get messed up here. that to be an 8. I want that to be an 8. Alright, so let's make sure that when I did that no command, I didn't mess something up. Do show run. Our DHCP pool's right here and excluded. Yep. We're good to go there. Save that. Exclude the first 5. All hosts should be able to communicate with hosts on the network. Configure host addressing. Hosts should be able to ping external hosts correctly where permitted. Alright. So. Now let's see if we're getting DHCP. We see some traffic on there when I set on DHCP. See that net blink start, so is this one? Nope, that one was statically set. That one was statically set. DHCP. DHCP. Maybe they're all busted, who knows? Okay, let's see. And DHCP is working. We've seen routes. You should definitely just let's try some ping. So we'll ping from here to ping 198.51.100.5. Uh-oh. Not a good start. Not a good start. So, let's see where that's failing. Trace route 198.51.100.5. Log on. Alright, so let's start from the basics. 8.1. Let's see if I put in the right default gateway. Ping 10.10.8.1. What were those IP addresses? Maybe that could be a serious problem for us. Should be 8.1. So we go back into our terminal, go into our router. Ping conflict due server pinged 10.2.7. What is this? Ping conflict 10 pinged 2.7.8. Well, that's new. So what I'm gonna do is we have some kind of ping. Like, why is there so much ping going on? Nothing's pinging. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? We're just gonna shut this thing down. Save it, but I did a reload command right there. DHCP address complex server ping 10.10.2.7. What's the problem with that? Alright, so if we get a DHCP now. Yep, there is a 10.10.2.7. Alright. So ping 10.10.2.1. I don't like how it paused. Alright. So we're gonna find out. You know it's in the right VLAN though, because it's getting the right IP address. We are going to find out what is going on. Maybe we have a spanning tree loop right now. No, we don't want the computer. Let's see, so their default gateway was 10.10.25. There's an awful lot of activity on these switches. Alright, so we're going to reload one of them as well. Let's see if we have a spanning tree loop that should be happening. See how the activity went down? But it's weird because we still got DHCP. Looks like less traffic. So spanning tree. Show what is going on here. Alright. The trunking has to work because we received show IP interface brief. Let's make sure we can ping all of ourselves. 10.10.2.1, 10.4.1, 10.8.1. Alright. So, how about 10.10.25.1? Alright. So that's all good. Simulation mode on this? Okay. Simulation mode would really help us out here. As long as this is, there's something going on. Something strange. So, let me get back to my IP addresses chart. Let's see if our switches can ping each other. Let's see what's going on inside of them. Enable. Let's make sure VLAN 25 is up. They are up. Okay, show interfaces. Trunk. PO1, PO2. Trunking on VLAN 1. Look good there. Let's do a show run, make sure what we think we set interface VLAN. doesn't have a MAC address burnt into it. That's weird. Alright, ping 10.10. We should be able to if this is up. Alright. So we can get to one of the switches. That's parent. In the same network. Can we get it to the other one? Can get to that one. Now let's try to get to the other one. So we have some sort of trunking issue. So we're gonna try to tell that. Wait, what is 252? FLC. So FLC can talk to FLA, but FLA can't talk to FLB. So we're going to telnet. We didn't set up telnet on FLC. Do. What is it? 10.25.252. That's ourselves. 253. Okay. So something's going on with B. Interface is trunk. We only have one PO functioning right now as a trunk. So FLC was in what POs? It's in 3. So interface PO 3. So we'll see if that can form, if we can get there now. Probably how we have the spanning tree priorities is what's not How am I doing that? It's 10.10. 2.5.253 I'm looking for. Come on, find it. Find it. Alright, so we found our problem child, so let's go there. So we have neither of our POs are trunking. That's our problem. And B is in PO2. Still not trunking. Why are you not trunking? I'm not getting any trunking errors, but both of our POs are not coming up. But they had to be working at one time. So is there some reason? So 3 and 4 are on 2. 5 and 6 are on 3. Alright. So 1 goes to 2. PO2 is trunking on this side. Why are we not seeing it trunking on the other? That's our question right now. Let's make sure PO2 is 3 and 4. Is that what we're supposed to be on A? 3, 4, 2. Yep. Oh, switchboard axis, VLAN 99. 1 and 2. That's not having a problem. Okay, anyways, interface range. And I'm back, and I don't remember what we were doing. So, let's see. Let's see if we can do show interfaces from this mode. Show interfaces, trunk. PO is trunking. PO2 is trunking. It doesn't make sense. This isn't working because show interfaces trunk. 25 is going across. Still is not working. So we know it is a problem on this switch. That one's up, that one's up. It's PO2. Alright, we're just going to do this for fun. Shouldn't have to. Interface range. We're on B. So wait, no. B is 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Dang it. Thought I figured it out. Okay. Let's do show CDP neighbors, make sure that's the ones we have. Port 0, 2, and 3. Files A. So FLA is 03 and 04, but FLC sees itself connected through 6. Alright, so show run. Let's look at our 5 and 6. interface PO. Hopefully you guys didn't have this problem. Not sure what's happening. So because they're both active. Yep, they're all active. Alright, well, as you can see, this is a packet tracer bug because when we shut down PO2 and 3, our interfaces configured with it should also come down. Alright. Hopefully this should come up fairly fast. Exit. We still are not getting that PO up. What is going on? Let's show run one more time. Make sure spanning tree is wrapping around PPST. This guy's in 2. This guy's in 3. But it says it's trunking on the other side is the weird part. Alright, so what I'm going to do is pause this and restart this packet tracer. Alright, here it is restarting. See if it was just straight packet tracer bugs. And it was. Let's see if we can ping. Great. So, well, at least you guys know how I would troubleshoot that. But anyways, hopefully you don't get that. Oh, great. Our DHCP isn't working. Probably because the ports came up before that. Or we still have problems. Nope, it's just because we had one import fast before those trunk links came up, so it couldn't reach the DHCP server. Oh please, I probably should just check my activity, but we're gonna see if we can get out here to the... No! Don't do this to me. Don't you dare do this to me. Alright. Ping 10.10 dot, what was my IP address here? 2.6, so we want 2.1. Alright, we can get there. Halfway. Alright. So what happened there is half of them sent, half of them didn't. Let's see if we can get to the further place now. Okay. So packet tracer bug again. We had to, the switches had to learn the MAC addresses before we can get all the way there. But that worked. So we're gonna check the activity now. So I guess if you guys are having weird errors, make sure you save everything and check it again. Check results is locked. Oh, I'm at 95. Oh wow, 95. Let's see what I didn't do. Configure. Configuration of unused switchboards according to screen bits. I didn't do device settings on building 2 or descriptions. So what I'm going through is just what it says up here at the top. So we'll see if that's it. It doesn't seem like it would be. Okay, so I have configured initial device settings, configure interfaces. That's building 1. Did I do that on building 1? I don't think I did that on building 1 either. Is this the one that? No, we did. But I don't have passwords and stuff on here. That's what I'm guessing this 5% is. Let's see if let's see if I do enable secret password 01. And I guess that didn't bring me up, so that's not what they want. So how about interface? Right, it does say building 2. Configure standard ACL, did that. Configure routing between VLANs, did that. DHCP pool is excluded, that's good. Configure IP addresses, descriptions, and other settings. Okay, so it is that junk. Line, con, 0, password, console 1, line, PTY 0 space 4, password, telnet 1, oh, it says telnet 1, log in, terminal, what do we do? Not terminal monitor, service password encryption. Let's see what we have there. It's still not going up. How about interface T01.1 description trunk VLAN 2 VLAN 4 VLAN 8 oops. What is it, 15, I guess. Yeah, it's still not going up there. So either it just doesn't like my descriptions. Okay, PBST, trunking, ether channel VLANs, create name, VLANs, trunking, assign access ports to VLANs, view remote management settings, internal DHCP, assign IP, static IP addresses were. As far as I can see, I did it. There are plenty of people that show you all the commands to type to get 100%, so if you can figure out where I didn't do it, go ahead, but these are the commands just to get it done. When you get it done, just go ahead and send me the completion, and I'll tell you what, you get 95%, I'll give you 100 because I couldn't get it past 100. 95%. Alright, thank you. Email me if you have any questions.